Hello, everyone. It is Self Care Sunday Self Care Edition. How are you? And you, but most importantly, you. Yes, you, right back there. I see you. How are you doing tonight? It is Sunday, the first day, the numero uno day of March. How are you doing today? Oops, hang on a second here. We got sounds coming from places, voices. Boom, I got it all. Got all the things working correctly here. Ooh, I'm missing one screen here. Boom, that goes there, that goes there, and over here should be able to get the other screen up and going. Let's see here. Boom, got it. Hey, Carrie and Lou, how are you? Hope all is well with you. Has it warmed up down there in Florida, Carrie? And how are things in Iowa, Lou? It is great to be back here, back on set, here with you and back off the road. Off the road. It is nice not to be on the road. You know, I have a yin yang relationship, a yin yang relationship with travel. I love to do what I do when I travel, but I could do without the travel. How's that? How's a beautiful day today? We started with snow and ended with sunshine, so I'll take that. Here, you know, I'll take the ending with sunshine. It was 50 yesterday. You can't, you know, March is that weird time frame. We're in that transition. You know, we're only a week away from springing ahead, which is part of it. We'll talk about that. You know, I mean, there are so many transitions here in March that allow for such great business opportunity, and that's part of what we'll talk about tonight. Let's get started with our opening quote. I got to flip a couple pages here because I have been out of our opening quote tonight is life is fragile. We're not guaranteed a tomorrow, so give it everything you got. Life is fragile. We're not guaranteed a tomorrow, so give it everything you got. And that is 100% true. That is 100% true. Every day is a blessing. It is. You know, I was on the phone a little while ago with somebody who just recently lost their dog, which is hard. So we're never guaranteed tomorrow, but we got today. We got today. We got today. And first and foremost, I just flipped the calendar. Boom, there went February. So February is in the book. February is gone, history as they call it. And we are on to March. And, you know, one of the things that, you know, I always work on is, well, I mean, one of the business things, the leveling thing, is always looking at sales. So, you know, sales is sort of your measuring stick. It's the if you've got if you only have one measuring stick, sales is right there. And it doesn't matter what your business is. Sales is always a measuring stick. It is a measurement. It is by no means the only measurement. You know, I talk often about how sales being the top number, you know, on an income statement, and we can get very much more in depth on working on a new lesson with that. Actually, for the academy, I'm working on that on the income statement and balance sheet. But the reality is the top number sales, your gross sales, is how hard you work. The bottom number, profit, is how smart you work. Top number, how hard. Bottom number, what you keep, is how smart. And the bottom number is incredibly much more important than the top number. The bottom number is infinitely more important. And it was funny because I heard I heard a podcast today with a tech entrepreneur talking about it. And tech entrepreneurs, especially, are usually very focused on growing the top number at all costs. I think tech companies invented the term burn rate, which is how much cash they're burning, literally burning to chase sales. They will do that at all costs, regardless of profit. They're famous for it, and Wall Street seems to reward them. But this tech entrepreneur had another way, which was chase the profit at all costs, not the sales, which is true. But as we head into March, so one of the things in resale, and most of you tuning in are resale stores, the quarter is a tremendous leveler in resale. Okay, and this winter is a great example of why it is. Because, like Lou mentioned, it's cold again. Okay, I think it was last week or the week before it was 60. Okay, and now it's cold again. And we've all experienced all kinds of weather. Carrie in Florida has experienced some frigid temps down there this winter. I mean, it has been cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, it seems like, with the weather. Like, where is this global warming? It's almost like you're saying that this winter. It's really that kind of crazy, extremes. But we've had, in the Northeast, we have had tons of snowfall. Last weekend, Boston, Providence, Rhode Island, and other areas got hit. The shorelines of Connecticut got hit with like 30 inches of snow. I mean, it's just crazy amounts. Some would say a more normalized or average winter for places, and it has been. But that affects sales differently, especially post pandemic. People stay home more during weather, where it used to be pre pandemic. People would come out. Not You wouldn't have lots of people, but the people that came out would spend more. When you had storms and you had other things. So what does all that mean? When you have those yin and yangs, those flows, and it still averages out in the wash. Okay. Maybe you had more snow or cold weather in February, but less in January or less in March. The weather is just a variable, and that weather variable averages out. But with resale stores, what I want you to be looking at is your trend line for January and February. When you look at January and February as a whole, so your year to date, are you up? Are you up? Are your sales up, and how much are you up? Because where I want you to end out, where you should end out, if you have the inventory to support it, is by the end of March, you should be looking at double digits. Okay, what is double digits? That means 10% or more growth year over year. That's what we're seeing in stores. And in the stores that I'm not seeing it in, inventory is a number one reason why. And it's not that you have it's not usually the wrong inventory, it's that you usually don't have enough inventory. But that inventory number, but that's what you want to be looking at. Is your trend line trending up? And is your trend line for January and February? So February may have been down for some of you, but January was up. Or January was down and February was up. Which way is it trending for you? And how does that look? How does that look as we head into March? Because I want to finish March with you up at least 10%. And we have stores pushing 20%. I have stores pushing 20% right now, and it's doable. Okay, it's really doable this year with all the economic factors at hand. Now you're going to say, well, people are hurting economically because of inflation and tariffs and all the economic impacts. And that's partially true, but resale stands to benefit, one, from people with tighter household budgets, but two, this spring, as in this spring season, this March and April, because most people file their tax returns later than earlier. Okay, the average refund is going to be bigger. The child tax credit is in there, which is retroactive to all of last year. There is the car interest deduction. If you bought a car in 25 and are making payments on it, there's the car interest deduction. So people are going to get this lump sum of money, and for a lot of people, their tax refund is a savings plan. Their tax refund is absolutely a savings plan. And so they're going to have this lump sum of extra money, and you having the inventory in your stores to be able to take advantage of it is key. And even if it's cold again where you are, or even if it's snowing, even if it's just not the perfect day, you really want to amp up your spring intake. And be asking for what your shoppers are buying. Okay, being specific about what your shoppers are buying is critical to the success of your store this spring and achieving double-digit growth, which is possible in the top line and in the bottom. And yes, there's increased expenses from utilities and other things, but it is possible to have double-digit top and bottom growth. And this is a great year and a great opportunity to take advantage of that. And I know you can do it. I am 100% behind it, and I'm seeing stores achieve it. I'm seeing stores achieve it. I'm seeing stores reach those goals. Not always the way they want, okay? Not always, or let me rephrase that, the way they expected to. I have one client that comes to mind that does a big spring reveal, and they flip the whole store they to spring, and it's a whole big woof, and spring has sprung. And their spring reveal didn't quite hit the mark that they expected, but there were outside factors to that. Okay, there was weather and other things, but they are still trending up double digits. But it sometimes hurts when an individual event, I'll be completely honest with you, when an individual event doesn't generate as much as you hoped it would. Maybe you have you're like Lou does the consignment crawl or does other things. When an individual event doesn't hit that, it's okay to look for what caused the event not to achieve the results you expected. Okay. And in the case of this spring reveal for this one store, it was weather. Weather during the spring event was not very springy. Okay. And they had some harsh weather during it, which kept people at home during part of the spring reveal. And that's just reality. I mean, remember that our stats from our friends at the National Retail Federation, weather affects things both positively and negatively by 2%. And so you'll have some times where it will affect your sales in a positive way by 2% and in a negative way. And the negative ways always hurt. We remember those far easier than we do the positive ways. We are much quicker to recall the snowstorm or the blizzard or the freezing weather that caused our sales to dip than we are to remember the weather conditions that caused our sales to rise. Like a bright spring day at the end of February where the temperature is 60 and people are out looking for short sleeves and spring clothes and bright spring colors. These variances happen, and that is awesome. But that's why we look at the average. That's why I look at the quarter. And it's why here on March 1st, I really want you to focus because you can still change it. The quarter isn't written yet. March is an amazing month. We've got Pi Day on 3/14. We have St. Patrick's Day. We have you have Spring Ahead Day, where we spring the clocks ahead next Sunday. We have all of these moments, okay, where we can grow and we can connect with our customers and we can just be truly authentically you. Okay. And that is really the most important thing through all of it is to be authentically you. I am authentically me. This is me. This is how I am all the time. I am 100% with you on that. And there are so many great ways to connect and do that really make a difference. So that is what I want you to connect on. That is what I want you to focus on. But it happens by actually looking at the metrics. So if you're not there, if you're like, I'm not at 10% right now, I'm maybe you haven't even grown your sales this year. Let's look at, but you know that by actually measuring it. So that's why you look at January and February. That's why you look at your intake for January and February. Okay, how much inventory you received and processed in January and February is so critically important. And it is why, if your inventory level isn't where it needs to be, that's why you start asking now, because, really the 4-week mark after asking, you can have a massive effect on sales between 4 and 6 weeks out. So March has got 31 days. Here we go, baby. Buckle up and let's make it happen. And that's what I love about this time of year. That's what I love about resale, because it doesn't take much to get the needle moving. Okay, it doesn't take a lot, to get that needle, get it moving. Get it moving. We just got to get your blood pumping. We got to get going and get that happening. And that's what's so exciting about this time of year. And as we head towards spring, and we say goodbye to it, and even that's a great email subject line, saying we have to say goodbye, and it's saying goodbye to winter. And that's a great email subject line. It's a great Facebook social media post subject line. We have to say goodbye, or we hate to say goodbye, okay? Because there's some things we love about winter. After all the snow I've got, I'm not sure what they are right this second, but there's some things we love about it. And it is communicating that, it's connecting with your customers and doing that. Even if you do home decor and furniture, you can connect and bring that across to your people. Hey, Jessica, how are you? Hope all is well with you. Got to connect with you. I have you on my list, so we can finish up what we were talking about. That is what we need to drive forward here as we're driving into the month of March. This is the time. This is the time to look at it and set and still make this quarter your most fabulous quarter. Okay, I want it to be your best first quarter. And there is still time to make that and connect with your customers and do that. So give that some thought. If you need a hand with it, just reach out. You know where to find me. You can DM me on Facebook. It's a great way to reach me. You can email me, Neil at nextlevelresale.com, and we can connect, and I'm happy to help you make sure you reach your goals and put that profit in the bank, because it's the top number is important, but the bottom number is even more important. And I want to keep that profit coming there. And for our U.S. stores, I really want to keep growing that and take advantage of people with all those tax refunds, because this year is going to be quite the year for them. Really, it's going to be a surprising year as people file them and get their returns going. So keep that in mind. You know what else keep in mind? This video and everything I talk about goes over to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and oh yes, ring the bell, ring it so you know when another one drops. You can also share it with all your friends in business, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, so we can help everybody run a better business. I am here every Sunday and Wednesday at More 8th and Ish. Sunday and Wednesday at More 8th and Ish. I am not traveling this week, so I will be around. But if you have a question in between, just DM me on Facebook or drop me an email, Neil at nextlevelresale.com. We start our program every night with our opening quote. Our opening quote was, "Life is fragile. We're not guaranteed it tomorrow, so give it everything you got." Our closing quote tonight is, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So keep on taking shots, people. Keep on taking them. Until then, until Wednesday at more 8 than Ish, know that you, but most importantly you, yes, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. I will see you, yes, you, on Wednesday.